What's good? Welcome to another LiveWire Sports Media update. All right, the Indiana Fever dropped a bad loss today to the Washington Mystics, who came out very aggressive, very much wanting to win this game. They did everything that the Indiana Fever should have done. The Indiana Fever didn't play it since Saturday. They had almost 2.5 days off before they played today, which was a 12 o'clock game. But the Indiana Fever came out flat. Just simple as that. They came out flat early in the game. It was getting backdoor, screen, anything the Washington Mystics could have get, they got it in the first half. The Fever ended up getting down big. First, they started out with a quick 5 points by Caitlin Clark. Then the Mystics adjusted. They started being physical with them. Aaliyah Boston started getting in foul trouble. I thought she was going to foul out the game at some point in time. But I want to dig into this lineup. Now, I said that Lexi Hall should start, which I still believe Lexi Hall should start. But you don't start her and Katie Lou Samuelson at the same time. And that threw the game off big time in the beginning because they could not find rhythm. They was turning the ball over. Repeatedly. They turned the ball over so much in this game too. It was ridiculous to see. They couldn't get their feel of the game. They couldn't get the flow of the game. And then every time they seemed like they tried to make a run, the Washington Mystics continue to push the pace back up again. And it just seemed like everything was getting unhinged. They took the referees was bad also. They was bad. They was calling everything against this Fever. That one play that gave Aaliyah Boston her fifth? I think her fourth or fifth foul when she had an and one and was gonna go to the line and shoot. That would have cut the lead down. I think probably like 6. But nevertheless, this game was poorly executed in ways that even though the Indiana Fever clawed their way back in the game in the fourth quarter, going on a 29-13 run, but it was solely because Caitlin Clark just took over. She took over ridiculously. If you look at the first quarter, the Mystics was up 26-17. Then it was up 25-20. Then it was up in the third 25-18. So they led for 3 quarters. They outscored them for 3 straight quarters, except for the fourth quarter. And the Fever seemed like they could not. It was like what? It was 51-37 at half. It seemed like they could not get a footing nowhere around at all. If you look at the overall stat line, the Fever shot great from the field. 53% from the field to 44. But they both were bad from the 3-point line, 32-35%. They both was good from the free throw line. 82-84. But that's one thing, we kept putting the Mystics on the free throw line. Then we had 21 turnovers. You cannot win the game turning the ball over like that. Then you had only 18 assists. 18 assists, and 13 of those assists came from Caitlin Clark. So the team in whole only had 5 assists. Bad pass after bad pass after bad pass. Even though Clark only had 5 turnovers, that's a good sign. She's starting to turn over, but still too many turnovers. The Fever had more blocks. They had 7. They had more steals, 9. They had more fouls, 21. But the thing about it is, I don't even know the girl name that played for the Mystics that started. Dawson, that's the name? Yeah. Dawson. I felt y'all could have got her more in foul trouble. She's big and everything. And then Vandaloo, she was being aggressive on Clark. They cited an incident with her and Clark, and then Boston and Dawson got into it. And Atkins had 26 points. That was the issue there. There was nobody to slow down Ariel Atkinson. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else only chipped in with 13, 13, 2, 10, 10, and 12. Aaliyah Ellis only had 12 points. But it was getting beat on the glass. They had 10 offensive rebounds, and you couldn't do anything with that. Now, I want y'all to listen to Christy Size, where her excuse was for the lineup switch. And they had asked her, and she could not give her an answer for that. This is why Christy Size always get herself in trouble, because she figured that she don't know. Just plain and simple. She don't know. That's why she can't answer these questions. Take a listen.
The second half, I'm curious what you thought of the starting lineup change and how it impacted the whole game.
Yeah, I think it impacted the whole game. That was a coach's decision. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, there goes my next question. I was going to ask you what the thinking was behind making that change. You're not going to answer.
That was just a coach's decision, and that's what we're going to leave.
All right. Start the second half, and I'm curious.
So there you have it. She don't know, and that's the sad thing. She don't know, because Caitlin Clark didn't have a chance to get everybody involved at all. Everybody was pretty much going through the motions. If you look at the stat numbers, Katie Lou only had 8 points. She had 5 personal fouls, and she was to me, the lineup should have been, if anything, you should have went big like you did against New York. You could have bring Katie Lou off the bench, or if you took out Samuelson, then put Katie Lou in. I mean, not Katie Lou, but Lexi Hall in. Lexi Hall helped spark the fourth quarter. Then you set her mostly throughout the third quarter when you needed her. You know what I'm saying? One thing I love Katie Lou, but she is very slow-footed. So when you see the lineup between Lexi Hall, Melissa Smith, Boston, Clark, and Mitchell working, that's the lineup you need to go with. That's the second time in the fourth quarter down the stretch you had this lineup, and it won you the game in New York, and it could have won you the game throughout if you had implemented this lineup a little bit sooner. Another thing too, if you was gonna start, the thing about it, Chrissy Side should have started the game off like she started off against New York. She shouldn't have changed the lineup at all. What she should have did is started Melissa Smith, started Samuelson, started Boston, and started Mitchell. Then see how things go. Because then you have bigger bodies out there. Then Melissa Smith could have used her size a little bit, and Boston lose her size a little bit more. So if you look at what's for the Fever, Clark had 29 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists, 7 for 14 from the field, 5 3-pointers, 10 for 11 from the free throw line, 3 blocks, 5 steals, only 5 turnovers. She's the first player in WNBA history to record 381 points, 175 assists, 136 blocks, 65 3-pointers, 35 steals, and 20 blocks for a guard. There is no other people in NBA history has done that. So, and she had to really had to do that. You know what I'm saying? She had to really be that person. It's just as simple as that. So, I mean, she put on a show, but at the same time, she had to do a lot of things. In the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark rallied them down from 21 to 3 points at the end of the game, towards the end of the game. She had 15 points in that span, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 4 for 6 for field goal, 2 for 2 for 3, 4 for 6 for the free throw line, 86.8% TS, and that's a plus 18 in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing about Caitlin I want her to do is stop getting discouraged when things go bad. Stop showing your body language. That's the only thing about her. I know she wants to win, but she got to help galvanize her team. She got to talk to her team. Because Katie Lou had to come over there and talk to her when she was getting into Vanderloo. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have got a tech. So she has to continue to stay engaged with the team and not be discouraged. But overall, this is a game they should have had won. This is a game that was on their radar to win. And I figure, just like how the Washington Mystics came in, knowing that they lost to the Fever 3 times, it was the same situation when the Fever came and played New York. They lost to them 3 times. Teams are not going to lay down for you. You're going to have to continue to play ball. You got to give, as much as other teams giving you their best shot, you got to continue to give other teams their best shot. You can't sit here and shuck and jive and play around and stuff, because that leaves you in a bad situation. Christy Sides, me personally, I would not have changed the lineup. Even if you had wanted to start Lexi Hall, okay, you could have start her in place of Katie Lou and then started out with the lineup that you had going down the stretch with Smith, Boston, or whatever. Lexi Hall she done a tremendous job. Spencer defensively, getting steals. She sparked that first quarter. If you had started her instead of Katie Lou, you probably would have stayed in the game a lot. Then it would have been a little bit things easier to rotate. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I would have used Boston a little bit more out of the pick and roll, but then she could have got Donaldson and more foul trouble. You could have easily took Donaldson out if you used the pick and roll and let Aaliyah Boston, do her thing. But again, like I said, this game wasn't things that should have been needed in a sense where you have, you be down big and you have to claw your way back, and you have to, that's where you needed somebody like another person like a Graceberger or Celeste Taylor to get really good defensive stops. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard for the Fever if they're going to if Chrissy Sides continue to throw this mixed lineup in. And let me finish reading the stat line for everybody. Kelsey Mitchell's second highest. She had 15 points in the game. Katie Lou, 8 points. Boston, only 6 points because she stayed in foul trouble. Lexi Hall had 5. Nalissa Smith, 11 points. Wheeler, 6. Dantas, 2. Wallace, 2. And speaking of Wallace, she should not be in the game at all. I mean, if you're going to put it in, put it on Vanderloo. Let her and Vanderloo, they both Australian. Let them guard each other. She had an easy assist from Caitlin Clark and blew it. You know what I'm saying? She blew it. You cannot, you know what I'm saying? You cannot do stuff like that. On top of everything else, Caitlin Clark extended her double-double streak to 4, which she surpassed now. Sue Bird. So I just don't understand Chrissy's size, logical thinking, and everything. But I'm gonna let you listen to what Caitlin Clark had to say about the Aaliyah Boston challenge play earlier.
Trouble for us. That stinks for her. Just couldn't really get her into a flow and get her on the floor much, just because she played 20 minutes just because of her foul trouble. But I thought when she was in there, she was obviously pretty effective, 3 for 4. But I think they went on a 10-0 run after that Cole reverse, and it would have been an and 1. So I think that just kind of shows our maturity. We have to find a way to be able to move on from that. We didn't get the call, but we need to stop right now. Because I think at that point it was a 10 or 12 point game. We weren't out of it by any means, and then we let it balloon to a 20+ game. So I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better. But I think there was a few moments in the game where it was we just couldn't get it to go our way.
All right, you heard Caitlin Clark, and that's what I was talking about. That play that they reversed it when it was an and 1, it would have cut the lead closer. I think it would. I don't want to be mistaken, but I think it would have cut the lead to 5 or 4 at that time. But nevertheless, there's nothing you can do about it. They're gonna have to regroup because they got a tough game on Friday against the Mercury on Friday night. Then they closed out the break. Well, they got 2 more games. They have the Lynx and the Dallas Wings after that, Sunday and next Wednesday. So before the All-Star break. So they got to find a way to beat the Mercury again and go into this Lynx game, hoping they can win the next 3, because they're gonna need these wins. This was a bad loss for the Fever, really bad loss. And Chrissy Size, she got to quit playing with the lineup. She got to stop playing with the lineup. If you're gonna start Katie Lou Samuelson, just start her with the regular lineup and then roll with it. But stop playing with the lineup. That's really messed up everything that you was trying to do. Until then, this is your boy LiveWire Sports Media Update. I holla.